So I left my house at 4 o'clock in the morning and I met Ryan at 6 o'clock near Higgins Lake. From there we loaded up his four-wheeler. I had to move some things around with the razor. We put the licking branch in there, we put the stands on there, we put the feeders in there, and then we hit the road. Now everybody knows I hate going across a bridge. I really hate going across a bridge when it's 30-mile-an-hour winds. And it was 30-mile-an-hour winds. Oh boy. So we get to deer camp. Me and Ryan go in, we're going in 2 days early. Steve and Eric are coming up in a couple days. Like, there's two ways to get in. There's the front way, which is longer, and then there's the back way, which is shorter, but there's also a little bit of swamp area and some rough terrain, and when we're carrying a bunch of stuff in, it's just easier to go the front way. Me and Ryan were like, hey, we're up here 2 days early. What do we got to lose? Let's go out the back way. So we went out the back way. About halfway through the woods, I'm like, Brian, I was like, why didn't I grab the GoPro and put the GoPro on the razor? I'm so stupid. So we had no video, so I just snapped a couple videos with my phone. I had went the back way a couple times before, and it was when me and Steve and Eric came up alone, and all we had to take in were the razor and the three-wheeler. So me and Ryan were going out the back, and we're riding this trail out, and I get to a part where it's clear cut, and I'm like, I have no idea where we are. So in my head, I remember we turned, after we got to a certain point, we turned right to go to the county road that would lead us out to the road that we come in on. So we make a right. A couple 100 yards down the trail, I made an abrupt stop. You know, I filmed a little bit, but I didn't film a whole lot of this, and it's kind of disappointing because it was basically the adventure of the day, and it sucks, but I was so focused on just trying to get us out. So not only did we get stuck, I don't know how much cable is in my winch, and then when I look at the winch, it's just a bird's nest. I've been parking my razor at my grandpa's because my kids like to drive up and down the trails there, so I've just been leaving it there. But right before I leave, my grandpa was moving the razor somehow, and there's buttons on my shifter. So he breaks the winch right before I leave for the UP, and I'm like, you know what? Going in the front way, we never have any problems. I'm not gonna get stuck. I don't need the winch right now. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'll fix it later. Luckily, I found the end, I found the tip, and I was able to get it out. Then I had to take a stick off a tree, and I basically pulled it through the hole in the front. And then we were worried, well, do we have enough cable? Can we reach this tree? Because we are right in the middle of this huge logging road, and we don't know if we're gonna be able to pull this thing out because we don't know if the winch cable will reach a tree. It did. We got lucky. We wrapped around a tree 3 times, tied a couple knots in it, threw the sweatshirt over it. Yeah, get in neutral. Got it wrapped around a tree because my hook's broke. Like I said, I didn't get the whole thing of us pulling it out and so on, but I was just so focused on getting out of there because I was in unknown territory, and I didn't, want to be there, and I didn't want to get stuck, and I didn't want to stay stuck, I should say, and I didn't want to be lost. And I wasn't carrying my gun, and I don't want to run into Sasquatch. Shoot. He's big. Anyway, so we get out. So then we're going down this trail, and it comes to an end. We look at our phones, we have no service. All it shows us is a dot on the non-satellite map. The only thing we know is we're going northwest, and we need to be going southeast. We backtrack. We go back to this trail, and we're like, you know what? There's another trail here, let's turn there. We turn down this trail, we get going down it, and it is soft. I mean, soft. And I just hammer it. And I'm running 5,000, 6,000 RPMs going up this hill, and this hill is soft. And we get to the top of the hill, and we get over, and then we get down to the bottom of the hill, and there's this huge, huge mud puddle. So there was some down trees on the side, and we decided that what we were gonna do is we're gonna cut those trees up that were just laid there to be, to deteriorate. And we were going to drive around the side. And then that's what we did. We finally come out and we get back to the trail and we find our way out. So then on the way back, we're pulling the rototiller in. And like I said in the last video where I actually put the actuator on the rototiller, the actuator on the rototiller, I hit a rock or something and it basically broke the key pin that was holding the pin in place, and the rototiller comes flying off, does a couple tumbles. The actuator that I spent a whole day putting on and wiring my razor for broke. So basically we left it on this trail, and then me and Ryan went back and got it, lifted it up onto the razor, and this thing isn't light, and then we drove the rest of the way in. We ratcheted it down obviously, and we drove the rest of the way in with it on the back of the razor. Probably what we should have just done from the beginning, but whatever. We have everything in. We're happy because we know we don't have to go anywhere. We're done. So we go out and we cut a couple trails. The one blind that we sit in is called the Tin Can, and it's a really nice blind. It's up on this hill, and there's a big cedar swamp that runs on the bottom of it, and there's another cedar swamp that runs on the north side of it. So they use it as a natural funnel. Problem is, the lanes for the shooting lanes are about this wide. So if you don't see it in that shooting lane, you don't see it. And you can hear them running down there all the time. You'll sit up there and you can hear them running across, you don't see anything. So our first mission was just to start clearing it out. So we started clearing it out. And we did quite a bit of clearing, and then we called it a night. So that was the first night. Me and Ryan got into deer camp yesterday at, oh man, that's bad. Around 2 o'clock. It took us almost 3 hours to get all our stuff in, and we got it in here, and we're gonna do some work. We're gonna do some cutting. Mainly we're just cutting trails. But this is camp in the summer. This is our deer camp here in the summer. I've had it once before for a spy point. I think it was a video where I did a spy point review up here at deer camp, and we're gonna set up a bunch of trail cameras, some cellular, some not cellular. And then I'm going to be back in July or August, and we're going to finish up the bathroom here and probably do some other fun knick-knack stuff. But yesterday it rained. I guess they had a really big storm the night before we got here, and it rained, and it is just soaking wet everywhere. The mosquitoes, I've never seen so many mosquitoes. It was crazy. We got here and we were just swarmed by thousands of mosquitoes. I mean, right now they're getting me, but they're not near as bad as what it was yesterday. We're gonna make a plan, figure out what we're doing today, and then we're gonna go out and have at it, because we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of trails to cut, a couple stands to put up. I got the rototiller here. Hopefully we can get it working, make sure everything, get some rototilling going. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of weed whacking before I rototill. We just gotta find our specific spots as to where we're gonna rototill. Good sign. We're just walking around right now across the road. Found a bunch of good sign. A bunch of trees over here torn apart from deer. A lot of bear poop. So we're just walking and seeing what's over here. I got my face covered for mosquitoes, not the stuff that's out here. As we're walking around this field, we start to notice there's a lot of bear droppings. I guess that's the nice way of saying it. But they're all over the place, and they are the size of cow patties. I mean, they're huge. So Ryan goes over to the tin can and starts opening that up some more, and then I'm going to work down here and I'm going to do some rototilling. so dumb. All this on my head. Those mosquitoes are horrible. Not too bad right now in the sun. Yesterday it was miserable. So we got the rototilling, and then like this little plug came out of the fuel filter. We put this little screw in there for now. I think I can get it going. Unfortunately, all the gas leaked out. I gotta go get the gas can. Hopefully I can get it going again. I mean, I'm gonna go until it won't go anymore. That's my goal. Wish me luck. I really need a disc. Or I need a bigger motor. If anybody has one for sale and you live, within driving distance, leave a comment down below. So this isn't the most exciting thing, but it's part of camp. It's pretty exciting. I got it going finally. Yeah, I can't hear the saws, so I didn't know where you were. I see the spoiler was gone, so I was like, oh, he must have went to the back. I drove all the way.
I told you I was coming out here.
Well, I knew, but I just thought maybe you were done already and then went somewhere else.
Get my good side, Josh.
Yeah, your good side. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think no. We need to move some of that brush up on top so it's out of the way, but other than that, I don't think we need to do much. While I was over doing the food plot, Ryan told me he was gonna come up to the tin can, which is a stand I've sat in a couple times. If you watched the videos before, you've seen it. He said he was gonna clear out. I mean, I'll show you. He cleared it out. So it's really wide and open, because before we were shooting through lanes that were like 6 foot wide, really small lanes, and we cleared out a lane to the left. And you're sitting in a stand, you're looking to the left, we cleared out some stands over there yesterday, and I'll show you those too. But I mean, he really cleared this out. This is going to make a huge difference, because we're going to be able to see. You can never see down here. You'd hear things and you could hear deer running through, and you knew they were deer because of the way they were walking, and you could never see them. And this is going to open up things drastically. This is all the area that he cleared. So there's a tin can right there. There's Ryan. And then there's all the area he cleared. And you look over here, and this is all clear here. So I'll let you cut, and I'll move.
If I cut, you just brush it off to the side.
That's what I'm saying. I think if we can get to that log, that'll open up a lot, When we go up here to work, it's hard for me to film because I don't want to be that guy that's just filming everything while everybody else is working. I try to film as much as possible, but I don't get everything that I want to get on camera. I wanted to get more before and after shots, and I just, we just went at it. We just went to work and started cutting trees and, cutting limbs and whatever we had to cut to get out of the way so we can make hunting lanes. That's what we're doing. So I didn't really get as much footage as I wanted to get, but you do see that we are working, and we're really trying to get this deer camp up to the standards that we need it to be for us to have 2 successful deer camps, because we are running, we got basically 11 guys coming to this thing every year. We're trying to do as many different things to bring the deer into the area, keep them in the area, and then that way when deer season comes around and we go out there and bait and so on, it's nothing new to them to be in the area, and for them to have extra food come that time of year, it's just a bonus. Across the tracks, there's this big opening. It used to be a logging camp. We set up a stand there last year. I sat there, I think 3 times, didn't see a thing. We never baited there before. I never put any salt licks out there before, so they didn't have a reason to come there. we decided we're going to put a food plot out there. Ryan brought up a licking branch. So after this, me and Ryan, we go over and we start setting up the licking branch, and he has it all built up and everything ready to go. He's got the 2 branches, and he brought the branches. There was actually 2 branches from a tree on property that he has in the lower peninsula off an oak tree that had scrapes underneath it already. And so the scent of the deer is already on this tree. They've been licking this tree already, and bringing it up here, hopefully, you know, adding that scent to it will bring that deer to the area and keep the deer coming to that licking branch. Then after that, we decided we wanted to put up the corn feeder. We found a couple spruces that were probably like 16, 17 feet tall, and we cut them and then we limbed them, and then we stood them up. And it was no easy task, I can't lie. See you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Comment down below. Hit that like button. Subscribe. I gotta go.